David Belisle, a three-sport athlete including an all-state hockey selection while at Mount St. Charles Academy in the 1970s, Dave Belisle went on to play 2 seasons of hockey for Providence College. But it wasn't long before he was back at Mount, embarking upon a coaching career that would span 4 decades. First as an assistant coach, and then co-head coach with his father, legendary Hall of Famer Bill Belisle. David helped guide Mount during its impressive run of 26 consecutive state championships from 1978 to 2003. He's also helped develop more than 100 future college players, as well as numerous players who went on to compete in the National Hockey League. Belisle, who had 4 sons with his late wife Nancy, has also coached various levels of youth hockey and baseball for many years, bringing his 2 youngest sons, James and John, to the Little League World Series on 2 separate occasions. Delivering an inspirational post-game speech to the Cumberland All-Stars during their 2014 trip to Williamsport that has since been viewed on YouTube more than 1 million times, Belisle was a finalist for the Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year award that year. He also was one of 9 people to receive the Stan Musial Lifetime Achievement Award for sportsmanship. Will Blackman. One of the greatest high school football players ever to come out of Rhode Island, Will Blackman was a 3-time All-Stater, All-American, and Gatorade Rhode Island Player of the Year at Bishop Hendricken. Also a standout in basketball and outdoor track for the Hawks, he broke all school records for rushing yardage and rushing touchdowns, while also excelling at wide receiver and cornerback, and running back many punts and kickoffs for touchdowns as a member of special teams. The 2002 graduate went on to have a record-setting career at Boston College, playing cornerback and wide receiver and earning all Big East Conference honors. Drafted by the Green Bay Packers in the 4th round of the 2006 NFL Draft, Blackman played 11 seasons in the NFL, including 4 with the Packers, 2 each with the New York Giants and Jacksonville Jaguars, and his final 3 with the Washington Redskins. He was playing for the Giants in 2011 when they defeated the New England Patriots 21-17 in Super Bowl 46. Now an analyst for the NFL Network, Blackman has run a free youth football clinic at Hendricken for the last 5 years, and for the last 2 years has also hosted the Blackman Rowley Combine Camp with fellow Hendricken alum Kyle Rowley. Turning 35 just last Sunday, he and his wife Shauna have 2 children, Ryder and Jade, and make their home in California. Brian Boucher. Before embarking on a professional hockey career, Brian Boucher honed his game on the frozen pond at Cass Park and at Adelard Arena, establishing himself as one of the best goaltenders ever to play for Mount St. Charles' storied hockey program. During the Woonsocket natives' time at Mount, the hockey team boasted a record of 79-4-2. In his junior season, he gave up just 8 goals, recording 9 shutouts and posting a .950 goals against average. Boucher was in net when Mount St. Charles defeated Bishop Hendricken in the opening game of the 1994 RIIL State Hockey Championship Series at Brownsmean Auditorium. And he was back in net the next night, helping the Mounties complete a sweep of the Hawks to capture what was then a record-breaking 17th straight state title. From Mount, Boucher played in the American Hockey League from 1994 to 1999, helping the Philadelphia Phantoms capture the Calder Cup in 1998. Drafted 22nd overall by the Philadelphia Flyers in the first round of the 1995 NHL entry draft, he posted a career goals against average of .771 while playing for 7 different NHL teams over 13 seasons, and was a member of the Philadelphia Flyers squad that appeared in the 2010 Stanley Cup Final. Now 42, Boucher currently serves as an inside-the-glass analyst and a studio analyst for NBC Sports Group's coverage of the NHL on NBC. He is also an analyst for the NHL Network and for CSN Philadelphia's telecasts of Philadelphia Flyers games. He lives in the Philadelphia area with his wife Melissa and their children Tyler and Brianna. Ed Bradley. The sign of an outstanding coach is the person who leaves a program in better shape than when they took over, former University of Rhode Island athletic director Tom McElroy once pointed out. Rarely does a person do that 3 times in a career. However, Ed Bradley did just that, beginning with the Barrington High School boys soccer team. A graduate of LaSalle Academy and then URI, where he was a 3-year varsity starter and all-Yankee Conference midfielder, Bradley actually had 2 coaching stints at Barrington from 1973 to 1979 and from 1983 to 1988. He compiled a record of 141, 52, and 39 over the 13 seasons, guiding the Eagles to 3 state championships, 7 league titles, and 2 division titles. Earning Coach of the Year honors 4 times, he coached 34 All-Staters, 7 All-New England players, and 4 All-America selections. In between, Bradley spent 3 seasons at Rhode Island College, coaching the Anchormen to a 27-9-14 record and an ECAC playoff berth. Taking over the reins at URI in 1989, Bradley went on to become the winningest coach in program history there, compiling a record of 192, 137, and 22 over the next 17 seasons. The URI Hall of Famer led the Rams to 10 Atlantic 10 titles and 6 NCAA tournament appearances. He actually wasn't quite done with coaching yet. After retiring from URI, Bradley coached in Florida at the Community School of Naples Prep School from 2008 to 2013, compiling a 58, 18, and 12 record and twice earning Class A Coach of the Year honors. Also a member of the Rhode Island Soccer Coaches and New England Soccer Halls of Fame, he and his wife Gail make their home in Narragansett. They have 3 children, daughter Jill and sons Brian and Michael, both of whom played soccer at URI, and 8 grandchildren, who also share their grandfather's love of soccer. Linda Cimino. Linda Cimino was the epitome of the multi-sport athlete during the 1990s. Attending St. Raphael Academy for her first 2 years of high school and the next 2 at North Smithfield High School, she earned a total of 12 varsity letters, playing tennis, basketball, and softball for the Saints, and soccer, basketball, and softball for the Northmen. Earning multiple all-class, all-division, and all-state honors, both in basketball and softball, over the course of her career, the 1997 Woonsocket Call and North Smithfield High School Female Athlete of the Year finished as North Smithfield's all-time leading scorer in basketball with 1,224 points. She also guided the Northmen to back-to-back appearances in the Class B Championship and earned herself a scholarship to Adelphi University, where she enjoyed a record-setting basketball career. Cimino taught and coached various high school sports on Long Island for several years before embarking on a college coaching career at age 22. She concluded an 8-year run at Caldwell University as the program's all-time leader in wins. After 4 successful seasons at Binghamton University, where she was named the 2016 America East Coach of the Year, she's about to kick off her 2nd season at St. Francis College in Brooklyn Heights, New York, where last year she led the Terriers to a program record 12 Northeast Conference wins. Cimino currently resides in New York City, but still calls Rhode Island home, where she has a strong support system that includes her mom, Mary Ellen, her stepdad, Bob, siblings Kelly, Michelle, Ray, and Gerard, coaches and mentors, Sean and Deb Reddy, and many other close friends. Gerard Dandino. Jerry Dandino has served Rhode Island's high school student-athletes for the better part of 5 decades as a coach, an official, and a sport director. The girls' basketball, softball, and boys' soccer coach, At the Rhode Island School for the Deaf in the mid-1970s and early 80s, Dandino guided those teams to multiple New England and Eastern School for the Deaf championships. He went on to coach the baseball teams at North Providence High School and Scituate High School, guiding North Providence to the Class B championship in 1994. When the RIIL and Rhode Island Special Olympics began a partnership to establish a unified basketball league in 2010, followed by a unified volleyball league soon after, Dandino became the league's sport director for both. He has seen the two sports expand to include more than 100 high school and middle school teams combined, and is also now overseeing the emergence of unified cross-country at the middle school level. The North Providence Hall of Famer coached Babe Ruth baseball for many years, was the scheduling coordinator for the Catholic Athletic League for more than a decade, and has been a basketball referee for 35 years. Dandino and his wife of 52 years, Jacqueline, have 2 children, Chris and Deb, and 4 grandchildren, CJ, Sean, Casey, and Caroline, all of whom grew up playing interscholastic athletics. Bill Falk. One would be hard-pressed to find another individual who has done as much to uplift the sports of Rhode Island high school cross-country and track and field as Bill Falk. His involvement with both sports spanned more than 6 decades, including 6 years at Hope High School in the early 1960s, where he guided the Blue Wave to a dozen state titles combined in cross-country and indoor and outdoor track. The nationally respected pole vault coach was named New England Coach of the Year 5 times during his nearly 20 years at URI, nurturing the careers of 5 All-Americans, 5 IC4A titleists, and 20 individual New England champions. In addition, Falk was a pole vault coach at the University of Miami for many years. A teacher, businessman, and philanthropist, the Brown University graduate with a master's degree from Columbia invented the heel cup protector and co-founded MF Athletic with his late wife Grace in 1960, watching it grow into one of the nation's top track and field equipment suppliers. Wanting to do his part to bring stability and credibility to cross-country and indoor and outdoor track, Falk began sponsoring all 3 of the RIIL state championships more than a decade ago. The Bill Falk Fund has also supported many valuable clinics for coaches, athletes, and officials. Mr. Falk passed away in the fall of 2018 at the age of 91. He and his wife had 2 children, Martha and Eric, and 3 grandchildren, Rachel, Audrey, and Leah. John Gillooly. In the summer of 1964, John Gillooly was given his first job at the Providence Journal, loading papers onto the delivery trucks at 75 Fountain Street in downtown Providence. He was 18 and had just graduated from Cranston High School East, where Gillooly played baseball and hockey, and just a few months earlier had helped the Thunderbolts capture the 1964 Hockey State Championship. The native Rhode Islander spent the next 54 years at the Journal, steadily moving up the ranks, from copyboy to sports writer to columnist. Only retiring just last August, Gillooly spent that half-century athletes, many of whom went on to enjoy Olympic and professional sports careers. During the 1997-98 hockey season, he shadowed the Mount St. Charles hockey team while it was on its way to winning a national record 26 consecutive state titles. Gillooly wrote an award-winning 6-part series entitled Ice Kings, which he later expanded into a book, Pride on the Mount, More Than a Game. By his count, the stories he has written numbered in the thousands. To those who occasionally asked if he ever tired of the task, Gillooly would say, "Believe me, you never get tired of writing stories of teenage determination, discipline, and success." Gillooly, who in his early years at the paper also worked as the sports information director and tennis coach at Bryant, has been honored by numerous organizations over the course of his career, gaining induction into the Words Unlimited and Providence Gridiron Club's Halls of Fame. He and his wife Sandy of 43 years have a daughter Melissa and son John Ryan and 2 young grandsons. David Harrington. David Harrington's philosophy on high school athletics is this: combining a rigorous pursuit of academics and athletics allows individuals to achieve a more balanced perspective on life. High school athletics achieves this by teaching students about teamwork and working hard together to achieve a common goal. Harrington seems to have followed that philosophy to a T, beginning with an exceptional academic and athletic career at Cranston High School East. Playing baseball, hockey, and soccer for the Thunderbolts in the early 1970s, he earned a total of 5 All-State selections and would later be inducted into the Cranston Athletic Hall of Fame. Graduating near the top of his class, he was named the Providence Journal Honor Roll Boy of the Year in 1974, an award presented annually to Rhode Island's top senior male high school student athlete. After graduating from Cranston East, Harrington went on to star in both baseball and hockey at Yale University. In hockey, he scored a total of 110 points on 49 goals and 61 assists in 94 games. One of Walter and Jean Harrington's 7 children, he was joined by his brothers Steve and Jerry on the Yale baseball team, and they hold the distinction of being the only 3 brothers ever to play on a varsity sports team in the same season in the history of Yale University athletics. After Yale, Harrington attended Cornell Business School and went on to work in the New York investment industry. He is the managing director and portfolio manager for MJX Asset Management and boasts 34 years of experience in the fixed income capital markets. He and his wife Carol make their home on Long Island, where they have raised their 3 children, Natalie, Haley, and Samuel. Robert Littlefield. A native of Rockland, Massachusetts, Bob Littlefield enjoyed a very successful 18-year career in teaching and coaching in Massachusetts before relocating to Rhode Island for Phase 2 of his career in 1993. Since arriving, he has worked for 5 years as an assistant principal at South Kingstown High School, followed by 18 years as principal at Portsmouth High School, and the last 3 as director of secondary schools for the Warwick School Department. A member of the Massachusetts Track Coaches and Norwell High School Halls of Fame, Littlefield has provided great support to each of the school's athletic programs, sharing his vast coaching knowledge whenever needed. Steadfastly committed to the RIIL's mission to provide fair and equitable education-based athletic opportunities for its 35,000 student athletes, Littlefield served as a member of the RIIL Principals Committee on Athletics for 21 years. He also served for 21 years as director and co-director of Outdoor Track and Field, was a member of the Games Committee Jury of Appeals at RIIL Outdoor Track and Field Championship meets for 22 years, and belonged to the Rhode Island Track and Field Officials Guild for 5. He lives in South Kingstown with his wife Maureen, a nurse at South County Hospital, and is most proud of his 2 sons, Timothy and Adam, who are both student athletes at South Kingstown. Chelsea Marandola. A 5-sport athlete at Johnston High School in the early 2000s, Chelsea Marandola left an indelible mark on the Rhode Island high school sports history books. Still the all-time leading scorer among Rhode Island high school female basketball players with their 2,631 career points, Marandola was a 2-time Gatorade Rhode Island High School Player of the Year and 4-time first-team All-Stater while playing for Johnston from 2001 to 2005. Scoring in double figures 102 times, she led the Panthers to the 2002 Division II basketball title and back-to-back Division I Final Four appearances. A member of the Johnston High School Hall of Fame, Marandola also played soccer, softball, and volleyball, helping the girls' volleyball team capture the Division III championship in 2004. She earned all Class C and all Northern Division honors in her 1 season of outdoor track. In 2005, Marandola realized her lifelong dream of playing at Providence College. Earning multiple All-Big East Conference honors, she graduated as the Lady Friars' third all-time leading scorer with 1,795 points, and ranked 16th all-time in rebounds with 651. Turning 32 earlier this month, Chelsea is the only child of Roger and Lois Marandola. She is the niece of longtime Johnston basketball coach Dan Mazzulla and cousin of former Hendricken stars Joe and Justin Mazzulla. Bill McCagney. A member of the first class to be inducted into the Barrington High School Athletic Hall of Fame, Bill McCagney produced a Hall of Fame career as an athlete in the 1970s, which he then followed up with a Hall of Fame coaching career at his alma mater that spanned nearly 4 decades. Graduating from Barrington in 1973, the multi-sport athlete and Eagle Scout was a 2-time All-State linebacker in football and All-League catcher in baseball, helping the Eagles win the 1971 Eastern Division Championship and finish second in the state tournament that year. Receiving a full football scholarship to the University of Rhode Island, McCagney was captain, team MVP, and All-New England Conference during his time with the Rams. His football coaching career spanned 38 years, beginning in 1977. As Barrington's varsity head coach from 1990 to 2015, the 5-time Rhode Island High School Football Coach of the Year compiled an overall record of 187, 109, and 2, guiding the Eagles to 10 Super Bowl appearances and 5 championships in 4 different divisions. He also coached Barrington's golf team from 2004 to 2007, guiding the Eagles to 3 state championships in that sport as well. The success of both the football and golf teams in 2005 earned McCagney the distinction as the Words Unlimited Rhode Island Schoolboy Coach of the Year, one of many honors he has received during his career. He and his wife Paula make their home in Warren and have 2 daughters, Selena and Krista, and a granddaughter, Angelina. Deborah Sylvia McMullen. Involved in athletics for as long as she can remember, Deb Sylvia McMullen first made her mark at East Greenwich High School in the 1980s as a multi-sport athlete. Inducted into the East Greenwich Athletic Hall of Fame in 2005, she earned all-division honors in varsity field hockey, basketball, and softball, along with second-team All-State honors in both softball and field hockey. An ACL injury midway through her rookie season brought her college basketball career at Springfield to an end, but certainly not her involvement in athletics. In the summer of 1987, McMullen was recruited by then longtime East Greenwich Athletic Director Art Kershaw to be the assistant varsity field hockey coach at her alma mater. The following season, she became the head coach at East Greenwich and has been there ever since. Named Coach of the Year several times by different organizations, McMullen has guided the Avengers to 5 state championships, 8 division titles, and a total of 11 title appearances over the last 31 years. A physical education and health teacher at Cole Middle School since 1991, McMullen and her husband Sean have 4 children, Kaylee, Courtney, Abby, and Jack, all of whom are proud to call themselves Avengers. Deb had the pleasure of coaching Courtney and Kaylee on the field hockey team. They are 2 of many East Greenwich players who have gone on to compete at the collegiate level, thanks in large part to McMullen's tutelage. Richard Stapleton. Celebrating his 81st birthday just last week, Richard Stapleton has been involved in gymnastics, either as a participant, teacher, coach, or judge since 1948, with no signs of stopping. First learning the sport as a youngster with the Providence Turners in the early 1950s, he went on to graduate from Mount Pleasant High School before entering the Air Force at the age of 17 in 1956. After serving 4 years in the military, Stapleton married his wife Dorothy in 1963 and graduated in 1965 from the University of Rhode Island, where he lettered in track as a pole vaulter. Enjoying a 22-year career as a health and physical education teacher in Warwick, Stapleton embarked upon his coaching career in 1968, as well as starting the boys' gymnastics team at Pilgrim and also serving as an assistant outdoor track coach there. He went on to coach the Tollgate girls' gymnastics team from 1975 to 1990, and the Rhode Island College women's gymnastics team from 1992 to 1998. Stapleton has judged high school gymnastics for the last 18 years and has also served on many gymnastics committees, formerly serving as the Rhode Island Interscholastic League's co-director of the sport and currently serving as the co-assigner of officials. He feels fortunate to have coached many great student athletes who have gone on to become teachers, nurses, lawyers, doctors, and even a superior court judge. 7 have become high school gymnastics coaches, 7 others are presently gymnastics officials, and 2 are gymnastics club owners who value interscholastic competition. Stapleton and his wife of 56 years have 3 married children, Jim, Jeff, and Sue. These days, they enjoy watching granddaughters Kayla, Lillian, and Mackenzie compete at their respective high schools. Kayla cheers for West Warwick, Lillian plays soccer for Scituate and referees, while recently graduated Mackenzie played soccer, unified basketball, and golf at Scituate.
Bring back Linda Cimino.
Good evening. I think this is Hall of Fame rookie initiation because I might be the only one that has never been inducted to a Hall of Fame. These guys have like 4 or 5 inductions. So I'm really excited and honored to be here. Driving up this morning and seeing that Rhode Island sign just welcomed me home, so thank you so much. Before I get started, I just want to thank Tom Mezzanotte and Mike Linnell, the Hall of Fame Selection Committee, and all those involved in the Rhode Island Interscholastic League, especially Carolyn Thornton, who gave me some great advice this morning about the speech, and she said, "Blessed be the brief." So I will take your advice. From the NFL to the Providence Journal to the Special Olympics, the Unified Sports, to the Rhode Island Interscholastic League women basketball legend and professional player, to a Little League World Series, and to the writer and a member of Ice Kings, to a principal, health and physical education teachers, track and field coaches, pole vault champions, to champion soccer, football, field hockey, gymnastics coaches, to even a referee, a judge, and a 2-sport Ivy League athlete. We are as different as they come. But we're all unified tonight because we're all members of this class and we all call Rhode Island home. And we share similar qualities and characteristics that have helped develop us into the athletes that we were, past tense, and the coaches that some of us are. As teenagers, we missed a lot of things that our friends were going to, but I think that's where we really learned how to sacrifice and stay committed. And if others were to describe the members of this class, I think some of the words that they would use would be committed, reliable, dedicated, prepared, sacrificing, loyal, and high integrity. Probably over and over again. So we do share similar qualities even though we come from different backgrounds. And I think early on in our lives, we realized that your lives change when your habits change. I know I did. And it's important that we learn early what is important to us. And I think most of the people on this stage found their passion in athletics, and some of us even made a career out of it. At the end of the day, when we look back at our contributions to our respective schools and programs, it's not necessarily the accomplishments that will be remembered, but it's how we made people feel and how we treated others. And I think that's really important to instill in our young people today. It's about connecting with others. It's about connecting with our community. It's about relationships. And my favorite coach of all time, as Pat Summit used to say, you win in life with people. My advice to the current student athletes in the Rhode Island Interscholastic League is to try to become the best version of yourself every day and to be kind to people, because no matter what happens in life, it's a wonderful legacy to have, for somebody to say that you were good to people and you were kind. Athletics teaches us that we are at our best when we act accordingly to our values. So as we receive this great honor tonight, we know that we didn't get here on our own. Everyone sitting on this stage has been influenced, mentored, supported, advised, and guided, probably by somebody sitting in this room tonight. So I'd like to ask you, if you're a parent of an inductee, please stand and remain standing. If you're a coach of an inductee, please stand and remain standing. If you're a teammate of an inductee, please stand and remain standing. If you're a sibling or niece or nephew of an inductee, please stand. Or a grandchild, please stand. If you're a spouse or significant other of an inductee, please stand. If you're a teacher, administrator, principal, athletic director of one of the inductees, please stand. If you're a former player of one of the inductees, please stand. If you're a colleague, friend, or neighbor of an inductee, please stand. And those of you sitting, if you've ever read the Providence Journal and an article by John Ruby, please stand